Welcome to the deep dive. Look, if you're tuning in, chances are you're busy, you're driven, and probably feeling that constant, low-level digital buzz in the background. Well, today, we're kind of strategically taking apart this idea that you have to hustle 24/7 to succeed.
Yeah.
We're diving deep into something we think is, well, crucial for productivity. Happy Sunday, the power of unplugging and exploring.
And this is really tailored for you, the high performer, the person who maybe thinks rest is, I don't know, a luxury, not really a core strategy.
Right.
So our mission here is to pull together the data, the sources that really prove mental well-being isn't just nice to have. It's actually the most productive, even fiscally sound decision you can make for your career, for your health.
Okay.
We're basically giving you a shortcut to understanding the why and then the very specific how of meaningful disconnection. Actually unplugging with purpose.
Okay, let's unpack that, because here's the core thing, the really surprising bit our sources drive home.
Yeah.
Sometimes stepping completely, aggressively away from your goals, away from your business efforts, that will be the single most productive thing you can do. For your creativity or output, you literally have to stop to go faster.
It sounds completely backwards, doesn't it? Especially if you're someone who measures success by tasks checked off a list.
Yeah, totally.
But the evidence is pretty clear. Burnout, it costs you time, it costs you money. Deliberate rest, though, that's an investment, and it pays off, right away.
So how do we actually do this? Our sources kick off with some really practical, almost firm steps from the material called Turn Off, Tune Out, and Recharge.
Yeah.
And this isn't just about, vegging out. It's about a deliberate kind of structural change to your weekend.
And that intention starts with what they call the powerdown rule. And the guidance here is, it's almost ruthless. It says you need to let whatever screen thing you're doing finish, even that last minute of the YouTube video.
Okay.
And then you power down all electronic devices, phones, tablets, work laptops, everything.
Okay, wait, I got to push back a bit there. That sounds extreme.
Yeah.
I mean, for a lot of people, their phone is their map, right? Or their camera, emergency line.
Yeah.
How do the sources square that zero tolerance thing?
Well, they justify it because the goal isn't just an hour of quiet. It's cognitive rest, real rest for your brain. See, as long as the device is on, even if you're not looking at it, the potential for a notification is there in your brain.
Yeah.
It's dedicating processing power to monitoring that potential interruption. It's low-level surveillance, basically.
Yeah. So the rule forces your mind out of that digital guard duty mode.
Exactly.
Okay. So no cheating. No, I'll just sneak one more scroll. Device is off. Put away. Done.
Right.
And the moment that's handled, you move to step 2. Physical disconnection. The instruction is step outside.
This is where we start reconnecting with the non-digital world. Grab an adventure buddy. Could be your dog, could be your bike, your partner, your kid.
Doesn't matter who or what, basically.
The sources are clear on that, yeah. The companion type doesn't matter. Furry, wheeled, human. It's the connection itself that counts.
Connecting with the outside world, with people, leaving that work headspace behind.
And this brings up a really good question for you, listening right now. If you weren't constantly checking your email, what connection? What do you feel your creative self is really craving?
Yeah.
Is it the quiet focus of walking alone? Or maybe the physical buzz of movement? Or just, laughing and being fully present with people you care about?
Good question. Okay, so you're outside, you're disconnected. Then comes the third instruction. And this one feels like the trickiest, especially for goal-oriented people. Wander freely.
Yeah, this is the big one for some folks. It means absolutely no plans, no destination, no agenda, none. You're deliberately stripping away all structure, letting spontaneity lead. The entire point is just presence, curiosity, letting the world surprise you.
Okay.
You're giving your brain this rare, really precious permission to just breathe.
I know someone who did this wander freely thing.
Yeah.
And they stumbled on this really obscure, kind of funny street sign.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it sparked the perfect, totally original name for their new company. Just like that.
Yeah.
Accidental discovery. That's exactly what this is about, isn't it?
That's precisely it. And if you're sitting there thinking, okay, this sounds nice, but I really need to be working, let's get into the science, the why behind this kind of radical rest being so necessary.
Yeah, let's do that, because they're not just talking feel-good stuff here. This is backed by some pretty solid science showing that looking after your mental well-being, that's key. For happiness, sure, but also for performance.
Absolutely.
There's research cited from Harvard Health looking ahead at 2025, that's quite stark. Constant connectivity. It just fuels stress and burnout.
Yeah.
That endless drip, drip, drip of notifications. It's actively hurting your thinking ability and your physical health.
It really is. And think about the mechanism, the actual physical process. You get a notification, your body releases cortisol, that stress hormone.
Right.
If you're always connected, your cortisol levels are just chronically high. And there's NIH research from 2021 backing this up too, showing that mindfulness, time in nature, these things actively cut anxiety, improve sleep, boost your mood significantly.
These are measurable things.
Yeah.
Tangible improvements, they reduce the drag on your productivity.
Exactly. And then there's the physiological reality, which is just undeniable. Based on a UC Merced study from 2015, engaging in leisure activities, especially ones out in nature, it lowers your heart rate, reduces stress hormones, and not just while you're doing it, but for hours afterward.
Wow.
Yeah. And to explain it simply, when you're walking in nature, your brain sees things like fractal patterns, the way trees branch, the veins on leaves.
Okay.
Those patterns are complex enough to keep your brain gently interested, but they're predictable enough that they don't trigger like an alarm state. The mental effort to process nature, it's way lower than processing an email inbox.
So your body is literally calming down, restoring its baseline.
That's the mechanism. Your body physically resets.
So the core biological truth here is, our brains are kind of optimized for the woods, not the Wi-Fi signal.
Pretty much, yeah.
It craves that varied, complex, but also calming rhythm of the natural world. And resisting that need isn't ambition.
Yeah.
It's kind of biological neglect.
And that realization flows perfectly into the next point, the difference between actual rest and what most of us, mistake for rest. Which brings us to the value of leisure crafting.
Right, because we often confuse just, collapsing on the sofa and scrolling endlessly. We confuse that passive downtime with real recovery. But the sources talk about something different. Purposeful rest, or leisure crafting.
And the key word there is crafting. It implies intention, design. We're moving beyond passive downtime. See, collapsing on the couch, binge watching a show, it doesn't actually restore your creative energy. Your brain is still consuming information, just different information. It's passive consumption, not active restoration.
That's a key distinction. Active versus passive.
Huge distinction.
So if you contrast that passive stuff with active leisure, like actually going for a hike, or maybe creating some art, learning a new skill like baking, exploring a new part of town.
Yeah.
That active leisure, it improves focus, creativity, emotional resilience. Way, way more. This is so important. Apparently, Harvard Business Review highlighted it recently, looking towards 2025 data.
It really shifts the perspective, and it raises an important planning question for your week. Just like you strategically plan your big work projects, you need to consciously craft your leisure time, design your recovery.
Design it.
Well, for example, if your job is super analytical, right? Maybe your best recovery is physical movement, getting out of your head.
Okay.
Or if you spend all day talking to clients, maybe your recovery needs to be quiet, solitary, creative work, something totally different.
So you need to be deliberate about what recharges your specific batteries. Do you actually know which activities leave you feeling genuinely energized afterward? Not just, temporarily distracted.
That's the question to ask yourself.
Because that deliberate choice, that feeds directly back into your professional performance, your long-term sustainability.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk payoff. Moving into the tangible benefits and transformation section, we've got some clear numbers on the immediate rewards of this intentional rest.
Okay, the data. Let's hear it.
It's pretty compelling. Research from UWM and UC Merced shows people report being, get this, 10% happier during leisure moments compared to work time.
10%?
Yeah.
That's actually a significant bump in just daily feeling.
It is, and maybe even more powerful. Those same leisure activities, they reduce stress levels by up to 30%.
30%? Wow.
Yeah. And when you connect that to the bigger picture, like research from Omaha Integrative Care in 2024, prioritizing leisure is directly linked to higher self-esteem, better coping skills, and noticeably reduced rates of depression.
So simply put, taking that intentional day off, unplugging properly, it's like the most effective immediate reset button you can hit for your whole mental state.
Exactly. Imagine it, listener. Trading that constant phone buzz for real presence. A day with no schedules, no screens, where you're actually noticing the world again.
Yeah.
Noticing, I don't know, the flowers blooming, or the leaves changing color, the sound of the wind, the actual sound of laughter from loved ones. Simple things like outdoor walks, spontaneous adventures. They let you experience genuine mindfulness naturally because your attention is drawn outward, away from all the internal noise and to-do lists.
And this isn't just theory or stats, right?
Good.
The sources share actual stories of transformation. The so what, as we call it.
Right. Real people, real changes. Look at reclaimed creativity. We see entrepreneurs who adopted this power down rule. They started getting their breakthrough ideas, not in intense brainstorming meetings, but like randomly on a hiking trail or sitting quietly in a coffee shop miles from their desk.
Why does it happen?
Well, the lack of pressure, the change of scenery, it allows your default mode network, that's the part of your brain involved in creativity, mind-wandering, connecting ideas, it finally gets a chance to switch on and do its thing.
Interesting. Okay, what else?
Strengthen bonds. Families who deliberately traded screen time for unplanned outdoor adventures. They found their connections got deeper, communication improved. The memories they made were just richer, more meaningful than passively watching something together.
Makes sense. Quality time versus just proximity.
Exactly. And maybe the most critical one, breaking burnout. We see stories of individuals stuck in these chronic cycles of exhaustion.
Yes, so many people feel that.
And they started prioritizing intentional rest, leisurecrafting, and they broke the cycle. They actually reclaimed their passion, not just for life, but for their work too, by realizing the answer wasn't more work, it was smarter rest.
Which brings us perfectly to the final and maybe most crucial argument, especially for you ambitious, high-achieving listeners out there, the actual business case for rest.
Right. If there's still any lingering suspicion that rest equals slacking, let's just look at pure professional output. Strategic breaks, which is essentially what leisurecrafting gives you, they create far more high-quality output than just endlessly grinding through a to-do list.
How so? We're talking fewer errors, better decisions.
Exactly. Reduced errors, absolutely. Better strategic thinking, improved long-term cognitive endurance.
Think about it. When you're tired, you make mistakes, sometimes costly ones. Rest minimizes that risk.
Okay, that's a strong point. And then there's innovation. Rest sparks innovation. A restored mind solves complex problems better. It innovates faster than an exhausted one. That's your competitive edge, gained by actually stepping away. You're allowing different thoughts to connect in the background.
It all comes back to sustainable success, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Balance beats burnout. Endless hustle just isn't a viable long-term strategy, not for a high-impact career. This is really an investment in your own sustainability, you as a resource.
Precisely. And here's a specific tip, especially for creative professionals, problem solvers listening. Your absolute best ideas, they rarely arrive when you're staring intently at a screen, trying to force inspiration. They pop up during walks, during deep chats, in those quiet, unstructured moments of just wondering about things. You have to protect those moments fiercely.
It's the time you dedicate to your mental health, isn't it? Which ultimately shapes your professional path and, frankly, the quality of your whole life.
Couldn't agree more. So we want to leave you with something actionable, your Sunday challenge. It's a simple 3-step plan based directly on the source material, something you can try this week.
Okay, challenge accepted. Step 1.
Step 1, power down all distractions. Finish that last email, that last report, whatever it is, then shut down the devices completely. Put them away. Monday morning can wait.
Step 2.
Step 2. Choose your companion. Grab your favorite adventure buddy. Could be the dog, the bike, your partner, your kids. That journey into presence, it's often better shared.
All right. And step 3.
Step 3. Follow curiosity. Head out the door with absolutely no destination, no plan. Let spontaneity, let the world around you be your only guide. Just see where you end up.
Power down, choose companion, follow curiosity.
That's it. This is an investment in yourself, your mind, your happiness. Remember that core message. A happy Sunday, a truly restorative one, is genuinely one of the best investments you can make. Sometimes, seriously, a day off does more for your business, your creativity, than ticking off a dozen tasks.
So as you embrace that spontaneity, as you follow that curiosity this weekend, what hidden path out there in the world, or maybe what brilliant hidden idea inside your own mind, what might you finally discover? Go find out.